Good aftershock. Feeling some aftershocks right now in history. Can you see these like red spots on my shoulder here and like on my chest? Part of that is a sunburn. Part of that is I think it's a stress rash, and I need to cut my nails. They're too long for me. When you can do the sound, it's too much for me. But I genuinely think part of it is just me scratching out of stress. A lot of times when I'm on the phone with people or like scrolling through Facebook, I'm literally doing it right now to my neck. Just caught myself. Um, so I've got some aloe that I've been putting on just to kind of soothe everything, but the tension is real. Haven't spoken with my mother yet about the latest happenings in the U.S., Minneapolis. She is kind of my insider source because I just don't know how much credence to put in Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all of that. Stop! Oh my! I need to sit on my hands. Because I know there are people who are posting really important, meaningful things on social media, but I think I've just trained myself not to trust anything that I see there. So it's hard for me to be comfortable gaining my information only from social media posts. So it's become really important for me to call my mom every day and just kind of get a different perspective on it. But okay, let's not fall too deep into a hole. No, hands in front at all times. This is hard for a fidgety person to not be able to touch themselves in any way. Okay, so let's go back to the trivia game. Going to the question from yesterday, all of the crimson things, they corrected themselves in the write-up of the answers. They said, we have since found out that we under-researched the question of how many American universities have a shade of crimson associated with them. They had said 4. Apparently, according to the Intercollegiate Registry, there are 7, as pointed out by a player, I guess. So Harvard, which I was able to research but did not answer myself, U of Alabama, okay, U of Indiana, Kansas, Mississippi, Oklahoma, and Utah. Doesn't change what I said. I said Alabama, and I stuck with it. Moving on to today's question. Oh my, I literally can't stop scratching myself. Today's questions are themed in pairs of 2. Tuesday twofers. So all of your answers will list 2 things. Oh dear. Number 1, name the animated pair that hailed from Frostbite Falls, Minnesota, on a show that originally aired from November 1959 to June 27, 1964. Oh, Frostbite Falls, animation from the late 50s, early 60s. So the Jetsons are not, stop it. The Jetsons are not in Frostbite Falls. Bedrock. The Flintstones are in Bedrock. So that's, oh wait, Rocky and Bullwinkle, I think. I'm pretty sure they come from snow. I'm gonna say Rocky and Bullwinkle. Okay. Number 2, what pair of words can be used to describe Shakers, hair, or diamonds? Okay, so my first instinct is salt and pepper, which works for shakers, salt shaker, pepper shaker, and hair. Like men of a certain age are often described to have salt and pepper hair. Women, which is distinguished. Women do not get the same treatment, by the way. But is there such a thing as salt and pepper diamonds? Is it like diamonds that have flecks of carbon, uncrystallized carbon in it? Oh, I don't know. Whatever. Salt and pepper. Number 3, used as early as the 18th century, the 1700s. What phrase simply means look and see? Huh? Look and see, used in the 1700s on. Look and see. Okay, so if we go back to the Latin, look, well, French, look is regarder, see is voir. In Spanish, look, mirar. Spanish, ver. Mir, mira ver? Mirror? That's not a phrase, is it? Look and see. I don't know why, but the word that's coming to my head is observe and report, which is very much associated with the police, which I do not want to be talking about right now. I don't know. Look and see. Watch and I don't know. Number 4. What often corrupted pleonasm? Pleonasm. I don't even know if I know what that means. Like, I've seen that word before, but I'm not 100% on it. Pleonasm is the use of more words than are necessary to convey meaning. For example, see with one's eyes, either as a fault of style or for emphasis. What often corrupted pleonasm applies to things that may not technically be true, but are close enough to serve the purpose. So it's 2 words where one would suffice to say that things are close enough imitations, like reasonable facsimile, but often corrupted pleonasm. This is, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to research this. Things that may not technically be true, but are close enough to serve the purpose. Stand-in? I don't know. Number 5, what actresses made their feature film debut in 1995 in It Takes Two, co-starring Steve Guttenberg and Kirstie Alley? Mary-Kate and Ashley. That one I know. I was really into that movie when I was little. Okay, I genuinely don't know how I'm going to research all of these things. All right, I found some answers. I don't know if they're the correct answers. It won't affect my score, though, because I didn't come up with answers for either of the ones that I'm not sure about. But, all right, so Rocky and Bullwinkle from Prospect Falls. Got it. Pair of words to describe Shaker's hair. Apparently there are salt and pepper diamonds. Who knew? They look lovely, by the way. Used as early as the 18th century phrase meaning look and see. Apparently it is lo and behold. Okay, sure. Lo, like look, look. And then see, behold. I buy that one. I feel like I'm fairly confident with that one. The next one, the pleonasm that applies things may not technically be true, but are close enough to serve the purpose. Honestly, I just copy-pasted that into Google, and one of the results that I had was for all intents and purposes. So intents and purposes is the same definition, the same meaning, so that does sound like a pleonasm. I'm not sure if it's been corrupted. I see what they mean by corrupted. It doesn't mean that people use the expression in a way that's different from its initial meaning. It's that people often mishear it, and instead of saying intents and purposes, they say intensive purposes, which I have definitely heard a lot. Yeah, and then it says the next part, intents and purposes are essentially synonyms or an intentional redundancy or pleonasm. Okay, now actually I feel pretty solid about my research skills on that one, but didn't get the point, obviously. I'm still on 2. And then, yeah, Mary-Kate and Ashley. So I got up to 3 out of 5. Could have been a lot worse. Right. Back from my walk. The heat seems to have made my weird stress/sunburn rash even worse. So that's cool. I'm going to put some more aloe vera on in a second. But first, see this awning? Blue awning here? That is a restaurant that I don't like. I'll say why I don't like it in a minute, but they have officially started up business again. I think, whoops, knocked the bottle over. Today is the beginning of phase 2 of post-lockdown in France, and I think for Well, they've scaled back the zoning colors. Before there were red zones and green zones, and red zones were where the virus was more prevalent, and green zones where they still had to be careful and socially distant, but there wasn't as much of a concern of overwhelming hospitals. So the good news is that the red zones have all been scaled back to orange. So there are no more red zones now. It's all orange zones where we still have to be careful. We can't go resume our normal lives as though it never happened, all this COVID stuff. But we can take a few more liberties and recommend some businesses. So I just went to Hema today, which is like a very inexpensive household store, I guess you could say. And I'll show you what I got in a second. And restaurants can now also have clients on the terraces. So any outdoor dining with the tables far enough apart is acceptable. What is infuriating me, though, about this particular restaurant at the base of my building is that where our building is the corner of this particular intersection. So we're the corner here, and their establishment is on this part of the building, but then they have a tunnel that goes behind our building, and they have a door out from the kitchen that is on the other side of my residential door, plus a boutique. Next to that boutique is a door for their kitchens, and they often have it open to kind of ventilate, and the smells come out, and it doesn't always smell that nice, because kitchens don't always smell super nice. Like the onions can be overwhelming or whatever it is. So it annoys me because they have put tables not only on the side of the building that we're all in that has the front of their store on it, they've taken it around the corner, and it now goes in front of my building, and there's the tiniest little corridor to my door, and in front of the boutique's property. So space that is no longer even theirs, they have put tables in front of. I wanted to film it as I was coming in, but I felt really self-conscious about it. I was already too close, and me yanking out a camera and filming people who were sitting there, that felt weird. So I didn't do that, but it annoyed me because not only are they invading someone else's property lines, and I'll get to why that's even more salacious than before, they're also, if I want to come in or go out, I cannot be a meter and a half away from the people who are sitting at the tables on either side of that corridor. So they're not allowing me, if there are people who are sitting on that table on either side, I cannot be a meter away, and I either have to just risk it and hope that they're not contaminated or carriers or something, or I have to wait until people aren't sitting there anymore, and I'm kind of furious about it. It's just so presumptuous. So I'm half considering saying something to the management there and saying, like, you cannot have these tables so close to where my building is, because that's encroaching on my social distancing rights, or my social distancing needs, I guess. I haven't decided how that's going to happen. But the other reason I'm really upset, and the reason that I don't like this restaurant at all, is because the boutique that's right next to my building, it's called La Vallée Verte, or the Green Valley. And it's run by an immigrant woman from, I'm not sure where she's from. She's from a country in Africa, maybe Gabon, Gambia or something, I'm not sure. But I can hear that she grew up speaking other languages than French, because I can hear her accent when she speaks French. But she's a kind woman. She's so, so sweet. I once ordered a thing from Amazon, and of course, they tried to deliver it while I wasn't home, and then they left it at her establishment, but they never told me that they'd left it there. So a couple of months went by, and I couldn't find this package. And finally, I just happened to be talking to her about something, and she said, wait, do you have a package that hasn't been delivered? And we finally got it. She was so sweet, holding on to this package this whole time. She's a kind woman, and she has just been butting heads with the owners of this restaurant downstairs because they are constantly encroaching on her property lines. The doors being open has an effect on her business. The doors to the kitchen, I should say, impacts her business, people who are coming in and out. She has to smell it all the time. She's trying to keep it clean, but then there are people who stay at the restaurant, you know, well past closing with their drinks, kind of sitting on the little fountain outside the building, just being raucous and noisy and you know, smashing bottles and leaving, you know, cigarette butts. And she tries to keep that property really clean. And the patrons of the restaurant are not respecting the property at all, and the managers don't care. They just, as soon as they're closed, they're out. They're not trying to corral anybody that they served alcohol to just before. So it's a huge system of disrespect that's being given towards this woman in the first place. And then, was it in January? I believe it was in January. There was a confrontation that I was not privy to, or that I was not witness to, but I was informed of it later by the woman, that there was a moment where one of the owners of the restaurant came to her establishment because she'd been complaining to them and asking them to respect their boundaries. And the owner came to her store and, you know, was verbally aggressing her, was, you know, threatening her, and then at one point even became physical with her. I don't know the extent of that, but she was so shocked that she started to collect materials to file a formal complaint against them. Apparently, the owners of this restaurant had a different restaurant just down the street that also got shut down because of misconduct or other things like that. So this is apparently just a history in the ownership of this establishment and previous establishments of disrespect for people in the community. And everything got derailed because of COVID, obviously, or put on hold, we could say. And now she hasn't started up operations again yet. And they are very clearly making a statement about setting up their tables on her property. There was also something, apparently they had, the reason that they were being so aggressive with her is because they want to drive her out and buy that property for themselves, which is really weird to me. It makes me nervous, and violence against a woman is disgusting to me, and I hadn't been there before, and I'm certainly never going there now. And it drives me crazy that they are like blatantly disrespecting not only her property, but also my, you know, safety in coming in and out of my own home. So, just a bit of a rant there about my neighbors. They're back. That's annoying. In any case, here's what I got from Hannah. I got some sponges, little bumblebee sponges, because I need to do my dishes. I got coffee filters. I don't drink coffee. I've said this so many times, but I want to do an experiment with steaming bao buns. And I read somewhere that you can either use parchment paper or you can use coffee filters on like a vegetable steam or something, and that helps prevent them from sticking to the thing. And these are only like €1 for 80 of them. So I figured, why not try it? I got some blister covers, just for, you know, the feetsies, in case anything. For now, my ankles seem to be okay, but if I ever get to a point again, I'd like to have something that's designed to cover it. I got some sunscreen, and then I realized as I was walking out that it's the kind that has shimmer in it, so I'm going to look super magical. And I also got some more aloe vera, and I'm going to put some on as soon as I stop recording. I got 2 jars of peanut butter, because it's only $2.25 at that store, as opposed to like $4.50 at other grocery stores. Unfortunately, they don't have chunky, but I mostly use peanut butter for baking and not necessarily for sandwiches. So chunky or smooth is fine for what I need to do. Laurence has a particular recipe that I do with peanut butter that she really likes. So I'm going to try to make some of that pretty soon. I got some more of those Stroop waffles, the caramel waffle things. I still have some left, but I don't go to Hemet that often, and I like having things on hand. You know this about me. I am a hoarder, as it were. I got some hand sanitizer because it was only like €1.50 or something, and I think I just want to start having this in every bag, so I don't have to worry about going out and not having any. I got some nail polish. I got they were only like €2 per bottle. So got this little like sky blue one, and then like a shimmery, it looks black, but it's more like a very, very dark metallic blue. And then, this one is like a pearlescent color. And I haven't painted my nails lately, but just you wait. And then I got these earrings, and none of them, oops, here we are, and none of them are the same. So if you want to mix and match, that's fun. Wait, are they nickel? Nah, seems to be okay. So yeah, that's my Hema haul. I don't think I've ever spent as much at Hema, but these are important to me. Oh, the Alice smells so good. Oh, I'm gonna put that on right now. Once again, I am resorting to turning my frustrations and stress into food. So I found a recipe a while ago for bao buns that I have just been craving, that like steamed dough feeling. You can tell that I've already started. So I found a recipe online and I'm just gonna try it. I have, I need to wash it first, but I have a steam basket that I'm gonna put one of those coffee filters on and then just, you know, experiment a little with that. But first, the dough has to be kneaded. So ring coming off for, I don't know, until it's smooth. Wait, no, it says work until smooth. So it's going to be a really good, like, physical expression. Look, for once I'm not wearing black while I make something with flour. Well, do you see this redness? I put aloe vera on it so many times, cold compresses. I think it's just a combination of heat and stress. That's great. Let's work out some of that stress with some dough. Bao dough. I've never made bao dough before. I really hope it turns out. All right, so she's in here. I ended up having to add a lot of extra flour to make it smooth. It was a very sticky dough. Maybe because I used all-purpose flour instead of bread flour. I don't know. I think it has different absorption rates for some. I don't know what it is. But she's now going to rise for 1.5 to 2 hours, or honestly, however long I'm in session with Laurence, which should be happening soonish, I guess. That'll be fun. I hope. Usually is. And then I'm gonna try to improvise my own version of filling. I have ground pork, I have ginger, I have green onions, I have cucumber, I have carrots. So I might do like a quick saute with, you know, soy sauce, ginger, and everything, and then just have julienne, like raw julienne carrots and cucumbers, and then just have that in the pan. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I mean, all of that is obviously contingent on this dough working. Turns out hours later with the bao bun stuff, I've formed them into balls, and then the technique that I found is rolling them with a wine bottle, because again, I can't be bothered to get my actual rolling pins all the way up, down from up there. I would need special equipment. So wine bottle it is, and then I'm gonna need to find a different way. I think I need to put a paper towel under here to absorb the condensation, because right now it's dripping down onto the buns. It's gonna make them soggy. Does that look like it'll stick? It hasn't fallen down so far. Fair enough. Sidebar: I grated ginger, and now my hand feels like it's on fire. I don't know if ginger is usually an inflammatory, but I'm already having an issue with like. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, because I was like getting ready to be on a phone call with my friend, which is why you didn't see a lot of the other prep and punching dough and all of that. Because I have already done my filling for the bao buns. It's pork, onions, carrots, ginger, garlic, soy sauce, cider vinegar, fish sauce. I think that's it. Kind of improvised it. But I was getting a little bit concerned about this redness on my chest, and so I went to the pharmacy that's just down my street to see if they had any ideas, and he said like it's either eczema, which I now already know that I have, or it's a reaction to the sun or to the heat, which happened to me once before. I was in Marseille, and I think it was my first time in the Mediterranean area in warm temperatures. I'm gonna go in here because it's a bit steamy in here. Light on. And I was just like wandering about, visiting different places, doing my walks for I think a total of 11 hours. And then I woke up the next morning and my eyelid was swollen shut. Could not open it to save my life. So I went to the pharmacy and she goes like, "Yep, you had an allergic reaction to the sun, you dumb white bitch." stupid white skin, just making me super susceptible to sun damage and sun allergic reactions to the sun. Eyes swollen shut because of the sun. So I went to the pharmacy to be like, can you tell me what can I put on it? And he gave me this thing that he said, like, it's oil right now, and then if you add water to it, it becomes like this lotiony sort of thing, and you put that on as long as possible when you're in the shower, and then wash it off, and then once you're dry, you add, you just put like a repairing cream on it, which I use all the time for my hands anyway, so I already had that. So definitely going to shower with that tonight. But in the meantime, my hands are on fire for some reason. Not like debilitating, obviously, because I'm talking to you right now, but there's a tingle. There's a tingle in here, and I don't love it. This happens to me a lot when I chop jalapenos. So I usually have to wear gloves when I chop jalapenos, and now I know I have to wear gloves when I handle raw ginger. Okay, here's the first batch done. I honestly don't really know what to expect from like feel or something, but I had a mini one. I just tore into it and it tasted really nice. So I'm just gonna try it. Let's see. Get a little scoop of the filling in there. Really hard to aim, clearly. Goodness, get some of that in there. Don't you fall out, you carrots. You're there for nutrition. And then I've sliced up some raw cucumber just for freshness, for crunch. Okay, so this is a very maybe overfilled bun. Whoops. But let's do the only thing that is, oh my god, that sauce is so good. Ooh, girl. Toot my own horn. Toot toot. But, see how this goes. Quite happy with that. A lot of people, look at that. The pillowiness in there. A lot of people don't like steamed bread. I think I'm for it. Okay. I'm definitely gonna eat like 5 more of these. Virus? What virus? Everything's fine here. And once again, I am brought very unwillingly back to having a very busy, very noisy street out my window. If I want to have fresh air coming in, I'm going to have to deal with the noise pollution. Cool. Anyway, here is my assembly station. Couldn't be bothered to clear off the table. Honestly, I've got laundry on there that I haven't put away yet. It's clean. I just haven't put it away yet. So the floor is fine. The floor was fine for generations of people, and it is fine for me. Look at these little buddies. You could make really rudimentary sock puppets out of them. Let's see. How do I do this? Mamma mia, Figaro magnifico! Food is magnifico. Okay, I'm gonna eat this now. Yep. Hey, Dad. Hey, Daddy-o. Yeah. Hey, Dad.
Yeah, that's me, yeah.
That's you. Guess how many steps I've done today? Shut up.
Well, let's see. So it's 11 o'clock. I'm thinking that you've done 9,989.
Pretty complimentary. I have done 11,214.
Oh, and you're not even home yet.
I just got home a minute ago.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations, my dear. Wonderful.
Woohoo!
I know.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Good night, vlog.
To be 110,000 step club. Woo!
Good night, vlog.